Happy to be here. It's going to be a little bit different, you know, through the computer, and I'll get to see some of your faces and how you're responding, but normally I do better in front of a crowd speaking. So yeah, I'm just going to, I don't have a presentation or anything. I'm just going to kind of talk about myself, how I got to where I am today, and then if you guys have questions at the end, I'd be happy to answer them. So I am from a very large family. I am the third of 6 kids. My parents just celebrated 40 years of marriage, and I actually just had my birthday on Tuesday. I'm 36, and my oldest brother and my baby sister are 10 years apart, and on my birthday I switch all of us, and we're all every other year, like in school we were 2 years apart, so I switch all of us from an odd or an even year, so I can always tell what age all of my 5 siblings are based on my own age and then the deduction from that. So yeah, my birthday is the one that switches us, so we're all going to be even this year. So I have 13 nieces and nephews. The youngest is 2, and my oldest nephew is 19. So we all were local here. My family's been in the Stanwood, Meno area for over 60 years. My dad's from a family of 5. They were farmers, and so we all graduated Stanwood High School, every single one of us, all my siblings, all my aunts and uncles, everything. So been in the community, that community, a really long time. Let's see here. My grandma worked at the Stanwood Meno News. She was the editor for the friends and family portion of the newspaper. So especially with 6 kids and on a farm in Stanwood, we were little local celebrities with my grandma always putting pictures of me and my siblings and all my cousins and stuff in the newspaper. So I have a lot of newspaper clippings of us. So that was really fun. Yeah, we were dairy farmers. And so I actually learned how to drive a tractor before I learned how to drive a car. Spent a lot of my summers, especially some of my birthdays, up in the hayfield, which I just absolutely loved. Bucking bales as I got older, and having, you know, friends from school come and help, and, you know, also from bottle feeding calves, and just growing up on a farm was just, I don't think I could have asked for a better childhood. We also had an apple orchard for a little while too, and so we would make our own cider there, and we had miniature ponies, and we would have like fall festivals and church groups come through, and we would do pony rides, and people got to make cider. And so I'm a farm country girl through and through, and it was a lot of fun, and I really equate to where I have gotten in my careers and successes with the, you know, just the hard work of growing up on a farm. And you know, you never go to, the cows don't sleep, so, you know, it's a constant work cycle there. So, but taught me a really good work ethic. And yeah, so on my 16th birthday, my dad and I went and looked at a space in Stanwood to set up a coffee shop. So kind of like the Friends Central Perk, you know, with couches, and we did sandwiches and espresso and ice cream and desserts. And so we got to run the business. So I was 16, and me and my sisters got to learn a lot about inventory and ordering and running a cash register and all that kind of stuff. So we did that for about 1.5 years, and we didn't make it. we sold the business. It was, the restaurant industry is a very tough one to be in, and need a lot of time and a lot of money for that. So, but lots of good experiences with that. And so it was in the complex where the movie theaters are. So from the coffee shop, I moved to working at the movie theaters there in Stanwood. And I would have to say, hands down, it was my most favorite job. Everybody was always happy at the movies, right? It's a celebration. Your kids are excited to see the show. And so I did that, and then I actually moved into a management role before I graduated high school. So I was getting to hire people and train people, and I was handling the cash registers and learned how to build movies. and they, you know, at that time were still on these just huge platters, and they would come in a case, and we would splice them and put in the cues for the lights and the sound. And so that was really, really fun to get to see that, the behind the scenes of the movie theaters. And after high school, I moved over to Milton Freewater in Oregon, right on the border there by Walla Walla, and took care of my great grandma's house. It was my first time moving out on my own, and managed an even larger movie theater over there. And so that was a lot of fun, and more staff, just a lot more to learn at that point. From then I took a break, and I actually went to Ecola Bible School down in Cannon Beach, Oregon. So we got to live there on the campus. I'm the only of the 6 of us kids that has a college degree. This was a different school, but, you know, just getting to be, you know, there on campus, and, you know, we had different instructors come in that talked different topics every week, 2 different teachers, speakers, pastors, things like that. So, and that's a beautiful, beautiful area. So it was wonderful to get to live there it was just a 9-month program, and got to make some really great friends. And so that was really great. And then after Cannon Beach, I moved back home to Stanwood for a little bit, and then actually moved to Arlington. My older sister was pregnant with her daughter, and so we were in a duplex so that I could help take care of the baby with her and be close. And I started my banking career at Washington Mutual there in Arlington in 2005. So I knew when I worked in the movie theaters that I liked money. I liked handling money and the balancing of the tills and the bank runs and things like that. And so when I was managing that, I was like, I'm going to be a bank manager. Like, that's what I'm going to do when I grow up. And so I was with Washington Mutual till 2007. And when I left Washington Mutual, I actually went with the Baptist church there in Arlington. We took a 12-day missions trip to Thailand, and I wasn't a member of the church, but I knew the pastor, and I wanted to go to Thailand and teach kids English and about Jesus. And so that was a really fun experience. Crazy that I went with people that I really didn't know. There was about 10 of us, and so just stepping out, you know, my mom always tells me, just, you're so brave, Kristin, you're so brave. The things that you do, you're so brave, you know. So to go across the world by myself with a group of people that I didn't really know was a fun adventure. What was really fun is when I was in Bangkok in one of the youth pastors' apartments. We were getting ready to prepare for one of our events, and he was showing us some photo books, and I see a picture of my oldest brother's best man in this guy's photo album in Thailand. And I'm like, what is going on? And I had grew up with this guy. His dad was the pastor of Victoria Chapel there in Bryant. And so it's like, talk about a small world, right? I'm in a totally different country, you know, across the world. And here I see people that I've known my entire life, you know, that I've bucked hay bales with this guy, and just the connections. And so that's something that I'm really good at finding people and making connections, and, you know, getting to know one another and things like that. And so it's funny that, you know, so I will always remember that here I am in Bangkok, and I see someone from my childhood. So after Thailand, I joined Northwest Plus Credit Union as a bank teller, and then I just kind of worked my way up in that. Small credit unions are phenomenal for the opportunities that they provide. You wear a lot of hats, and so I got to do compliance and training and consulting, and so I was helping writing policies and putting things in place like the SAFE Act with the mortgage regulations, and red flags and identity theft, all these different things. And I got to travel around, and basically my mentor, who's now the CEO of the credit union, she just let me learn as much as I wanted to. And so that's what I did. So I read a lot of regs. I had to keep different certifications for that role, and I was with that credit union just about 9 years. And then I wanted just a little bit more opportunity with a bigger financial institution, but still have that ability to, you know, connect with people, with the customers, with the members, and treat them like people, not just a bank account or things like that. So that's when I joined Skagit Bank up in Mount Vernon. I started out at the little West Side office there at Skagit Bank. I just wanted to learn about the products and the procedures and the policies, and it was a slower branch and small staff, and so I was there for 3 months, and then my manager at the time, she encouraged me to move into one of the top 4 of the 10 or 11 branches that we had to manage that. So I went from a staff of 3.5 to 10 people, and much busier branch and things like that. And so I love Skagit Bank and the community involvement, and it really helped me to learn a lot about business development and networking. And as a manager, we had to pick a service club. So I was actually a Mount Vernon Kiwanis member, which I would say is one of the greatest opportunities that I have ever had. What that did for me is obviously get me involved in that local community. We're the ones that put on the salmon barbecue every year up in April at Hillcrest, which is just the best salmon you'll ever get on a paper plate or anywhere else. And so, but that being involved in that service organization just opened up so many doors for me. And I've always loved to work with kids and volunteer. You know, I taught a lot of junior achievement classes, and with my training background, I didn't have a problem standing in front of a class of children and talking about economics and playing fun games and things like that. And so, but it just, with, their motto is serving the children of the world. And so it was just really great to get to be involved in that group. And then actually got me connected with the Skagit Friendship House, which is the largest homeless service provider in all of Skagit County. So our group would once a month go and cook burgers and serve in the kitchen. And so I got to do that. And there was one, I'm going to try not to be emotional. There was one Wednesday we were serving, and there was this little child, and her mother was strung out, and it was like, where is her next meal coming from? Which was really hard because she doesn't have a choice. Oh, sorry. So I prayed on the way home, and I was like, I got to get more involved. I got to do something. I've got time. I have finances. How can I get further involved? And so next morning we had an officers meeting with the bank, and our CEO said, the Friendship House is looking for board members. And so I was like, all right, God, that was a quick turnaround on that prayer. So now I'm currently the board president of the Friendship House. And so I've been with that organization as a volunteer basis for, I think I'm working on my 3rd year. But it's just wonderful to all these different steps and these things that have happened to bring me where I am. And so lots of great relationships and everything. And then with the merger that happened with Banner and Skagit, they were going to bring in a manager above me, which was not going to probably fare well for myself, for her, for the team. And so they offered me the option to take a severance package. And when I had started with Skagit back in 2016, State Farm Insurance had actually approached me to, want to give me a book of business, or, said bankers really do well in insurance. And then, so I took some time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. I had done mortgages and a lot of lending. I was a underwriter for the credit union, a senior underwriter. So I did all consumer loans and understand credit reports and debt to income and everything like that. And so I thought, oh, maybe I'll go the mortgage route. And then it just so happened Country Financial is my family's insurance company. So I have been a client with Country Financial since I was 16. They are known for their farms, and so my family has always had them, and they have just always been so wonderful, taking care of if equipment breaks down and things like that. And so when they were hiring, I took the opportunity, and I thought, well, that's awesome. I can really just share my personal experience as a client with this company. And so that was in 2018, and here I am. I am also doing mortgages too. There's an office there on Olympic that they approached me. It's my old boss from Skagit. She's like, hey, you were so good in mortgages. You wanna help us out? We're gonna open this branch. And so I do that as well. Let's see here. I think that's, quite a bit about me in a short amount of time, but I don't know if anyone has questions or anything like that.
Kristin, tell us about you personally, anybody in your life, any children, anything like that?
Oh, I have a new boyfriend, and he has a 5-year-old daughter, and we're pretty serious, so it's likely I'll, hopefully be getting married soon, but no children of my own right now. I do have 2 little dogs, little Chiweenies, and so Charlie and Archer, and Archer's a puppy, so he's still a handful. And yeah, but right now I'm just super anti. I'm actually at my mom's right now, and my sister has 5 little boys under the age of 9, and then I have little Kaya, who she's 5, and so we're spending the day together and playing with cousins and friends. And so yeah, I really spend a lot of my time with my nieces and nephews and being involved in their lives as much as I can. My niece that is in Arlington school, I took her down to the school to get her Chromebook and get her set up for her, so as much as I can, that's family's my world, so I do spend a lot of time with them. Yeah. I
like the term super auntie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just have a birthday, Kristin?
Yep. On Tuesday, I just turned 36, so.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Kristin, the presentation was so awesome. And I was thinking, man, like she should have done it before me so that I would have learned, to do the background properly and to be better prepared. It was so awesome. I mean, I have 100 questions and other stuff for you, but I'll connect with you offline.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I had a small stint as a bank teller as well, because I wanted to experience US, right? So I worked in Wells Fargo for a little bit. So
yeah,
really fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm super excited that you joined the club. I, get to continue to work with you, but in a different aspect. So.
Yeah, well, I guess I should have given you the plug. Tony's one that was like, "Hey, come check out Rotary with me," and so I was happy to do so. You were really helpful and great to work with at the bank. So I'm grateful for the relationships that I created there at Skagit. So.
Yeah.
We're always happy to pick up a Kiwanis, former Kiwanis too.
I know I was going to make a joke about it because they always make jokes about the Rotary and Kiwanis, but
Any other questions for Kristin at all?
I'll say one thing. Thanks for sharing about that Thailand experience. And are you going anywhere else? Obviously, you can't travel right now, but would you like to go to another country? Do you have a country on your heart?
I have always, as far as for a missions trip, the Middle East somewhere that was really on my heart a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Not sure that it's in the cards for me, but we'll see. I've been on a few different missions trips. I went down to Mexico a few times, and I have actually traveled quite a bit. Been to Italy and Greece and Ireland and all over in the Caribbean, and so
awesome.
we'll see.
Yeah, that's up my alley too. It's a lot of fun and rewarding to go overseas and to see people change. So good job.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ditto the fact that being raised on a farm definitely teaches you a lot about work ethics. Because I come
Yeah.
from a family of 14.
Wow.
So
Not to mention the immunity that she has, Paul.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
All right, any more questions?
No, looking forward to getting to know her better, but I was just laughing. If her family came to the classification talk, we'd have to double the size of the room.
Oh, it is always an adventure finding a restaurant that can sit all of us, because there's like 23 with just the siblings, spouses, kids, and my parents. So we have a couple in Arlington that can suit us all. So yeah, we really like spending time together, but we're a crew for sure.